If you've never loved someone so deeply that you'd sacrifice your entire life for them, then you cannot understand Itachi Uchiha. Just kidding, relax, but hey, if you haven't already, like the video and comment which character you want next. Let's start.
Itachi didn't begin his life chasing power. He began it surrounded by death. While other children were learning how to throw a kunai, Itachi was learning what war does to people, how quickly hatred turns homes into graves and families into enemies. That's where his story truly starts, not with strength, but with understanding pain far too early. Talent is often seen as a gift. But when it appears too early, it can become a weight. From a young age, Itachi stopped being treated like a child. People began to rely on him, to expect things from him, things no child should have to carry. While others were allowed to grow at their own pace, Itachi was expected to understand more, to stay composed, to never fail. No one asked if he wanted that responsibility, because when you're talented, the world often decides for you. This is how innocence fades, not in a single moment, but slowly, under the weight of expectation.
Some choices don't feel like choices at all.
For Itachi, there were only outcomes, and every outcome came with blood. Protect his family and let the world fall apart, or protect the world and destroy everything he loved. There was no victory here, only responsibility. So he chose the future where fewer people would suffer, even if it meant being hated forever. From that moment on, Itachi stopped being a son, a brother, a hero. He became a burden the world could carry without ever knowing the truth. That is what it cost him, and that is where his legend truly begins. After that night, Itachi didn't get closure. He got silence. No explanations, no defense, just a role he had to accept. To the world, he was a monster, and he let that story stick. Think about that. Waking up every day knowing people hate you, and choosing not to correct them. Most of us want to be seen as good. Itachi gave that up completely. He lived knowing even his brother would grow up hating him. That's not anime strength. That's real strength. And living as the villain was the price he paid for peace. I've always believed that if you really want to understand Itachi, you have to look at Sasuke. Because everything he did, every cruel word, every cold look, every step into darkness was for him. From the outside, it looked messed up. It looked wrong, like hatred. But if you've ever cared about someone more than yourself, you start to see it differently. Itachi didn't want to be loved. He wanted Sasuke to live, to grow, to have a future, even if that future meant hating him. As a fan, that's what hits me the hardest, because that kind of love isn't dramatic. It's quiet, and it hurts. He chose to be the villain in his brother's story, so Sasuke could be the hero in his own. And honestly, that's not just anime writing. That's a very human kind of love. When Itachi finally died, most people believed the story was over. The villain was gone. Justice had been served. At least that's what everyone thought. But the truth didn't come with his death. It came later, quietly. And once it did, everything changed. Suddenly, his actions made sense. The silence, the cruelty, the choices that never had a good ending. Itachi didn't die as a monster. He died carrying the truth alone, so no one else would have to. And maybe that's why his death feels different. Not tragic, not heroic, just peaceful. Because for the first time in his life, he didn't have to pretend anymore. The weight was gone, the role was over, and Itachi was finally free. So what does Itachi really leave behind? Not a jutsu, not a victory, but a lesson. That love isn't always loud, it isn't always gentle, and it isn't always understood. Sometimes, love means staying silent, carrying pain alone, letting the world see you as the villain, so someone else can live without that burden. Itachi shows us that real strength isn't about winning fights. It's about what you're willing to carry without letting it turn you bitter. And maybe that's why his story stays with us. Because deep down, we all know what it feels like to want to do the right thing, even when no one sees it. To put someone else first, even when it hurts. That's not just anime, that's human. So if this story meant something to you, take a second and leave a like. It really helps more than you think. And if you want more videos like this, more stories, more lessons, more anime philosophy, consider subscribing. Let me know in the comments which character you want next. We rise together through anime.